Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bravo Bubble. I am Robin Lynn Norris. I'm an actor, writer, and improviser in Los Angeles, and I eat pie for breakfast.
Hmm. Hi, everyone. I'm Carla Kakowski. I'm also a writer and an improviser, and I'm drinking coffee.
Heck yeah. Now, I know everything there is to know about Bravo TV.
And I know absolutely nothing.
So, welcome to the Bravo Bubble, a podcast for Bravoholics and their besties who live outside.
Outside the Bravo bubble, right?
Heck yeah, that was totally right. It's another quiz, Carla. We decided not to use our script this time so we can be a little more conversational. I
Yeah.
think you aced it.
Thank you.
So
I
it's
appreciate
been
that.
so funny because I've been editing all the episodes, and every time you have an answer, I say good guess, and you're like, you always say good guess. So we'll
You do.
we'll
It's so
see
cute.
we'll see how it goes today.
It's very
Uh,
supportive. You're always like, good job. And I'm like, that
good
was not
job.
good.
So, one of my favorite things, I think it was good. One of my favorite things about this podcast, now that we're up and running and we're getting to rewatch them and everything, is just chatting as friends. So, we're going to keep doing that before we dive into Bravo. And
Great.
in the since our last podcast, anything fun, interesting that happened, Carla?
Been doing a lot of improv. It's just
Yeah, you
like
have.
an improv world right now. We did a show together that was super fun.
We sure did. Shout out Expert of Show, which we'll probably
Yes.
plug again. It's one of our improv shows. Yeah, you were hilarious in that
You were
show.
hilarious. And you had a whole, somebody set you up, not me, somebody else set you up to do
Oh,
like a whole Vanderpump thing,
oh, yes.
right?
Yes, I'm so glad you brought that up. So, real quick, this is a show called Expert of, where we get experts at the top of their field in a very specific genre, like a sommelier or a architect or something, and then we improvise based off their stories. So this was Haley Solar, and she runs these beautiful, amazing boutiques in Eagle Rock and Silver Lake. And I did know that she is a Vanderpump fan,
Oh,
and
okay.
so it naturally came up. We didn't plan it in her
Mhm.
stories that she was like in she was needed a job when she was trying to get her boutiques off the ground, and she was working a la Vanderpump. And you're right, Carla, I forgot about that. I got to do a whole Vanderpump scene, which
You
was
did.
so fun.
It was great. And I just watched and appreciated from the back line.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where when you're improvising, I don't know if you have this, where if somebody says something that's so in my wheelhouse, I almost get frozen because I can't,
Yeah.
there's too much. So I was in the scene with my husband, Atul, who he knows how obsessed I am. And he was like, what does "sir" stand for? And I'm like, I can't make something up because it's too ingrained. I have to say sexy, unique restaurant. So maybe not the
Honestly, I
best
was
improv.
like, is that true? Is it? I wasn't sure, which I love. I love that it was
Yeah.
said with so much confidence. And I guess because it is true, but I
Yeah.
was like, did you make that up? That's hilarious.
I did not. I couldn't. That whole show, I couldn't. Like, our friend Joey was acting just so Joey. And I was
Yes.
just like, our son, Joey. I couldn't, I just couldn't make things up. I don't know.
I'm
Anyway.
kind of the opposite. Like when someone, like if something like Jane Austen or something that I
Hmm.
love comes up, I immediately forget all the titles to her books. I immediately,
Yeah.
because I'm like,
Oh,
I
that's
like
funny.
paralyzed with fear of like everybody who knows me here knows that I love Jane Austen or whatever it is.
Yes.
And now I don't remember anything.
Yeah. No, I've had that as well. I know. It's just overwhelming because you're just like, this
Yeah.
is my thing.
Yeah. This
Yeah,
is my
you've been doing.
personality. Why can't I remember my personality?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you've been doing so many shows and you're always so
Yeah,
funny. So that's
you
been
too.
really fun. And all of our
Yeah.
friends have been doing a million shows.
It's
So
been
we've been
great. It feels
out on the
good. Like,
town.
I mean, it's been 5 years since the start of the pandemic, and I
Hmm.
finally feel like things are back, back. We're back.
I feel like it too.
Live performance. Yeah.
I do too. And there's so much improv all around the city. We're in LA, just in different theaters. It used to be contained in these one spaces, and it's really been delightful to just play at different places and see our friends at
Yeah.
different places. So anyway, hope all of you guys out there care about improv because that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
There it
Eh,
is. We also
Uh,
saw real quick because your
yes.
log lady behind you.
Mm,
My friend invited me to a documentary, and I was like, last minute, and I was like, I should text Robin. I bet she's going to be there for the log lady, whose name I
yes.
already forgot, even though I
Catherine
watched
Colson. That's okay.
Catherine Carlson from Twin Peaks.
Yes.
And then, of course, like we get there, and I hear Carla and
That
Robin
was
sitting.
so ridiculous. So it was for any of, I'm sure there are some Twin Peaks fans out there. For any of you listening, there's a new documentary called I Am Catherine the Log Lady, or I Know Catherine the Log Lady. Sorry for butchering
Yeah,
it. Anyway, it was the world premiere here in LA, or the Hollywood premiere at the Egyptian Theater, which is so
yeah,
gorgeous.
it was
And
beautiful.
I was so psyched because Kyle MacLachlan was going to be there, Mark
Yeah,
Frost, who is hardly ever out, and Sabrina Sutherland, who's the producer of Twin Peaks. And it was cool. Like it was packed,
it was
sold
so
out.
fun.
And I
Yeah,
was going by myself because I got one ticket and then it sold out and I couldn't get a ticket for anybody. So I'm in line and there's people dressed up carrying their logs. And like, I just love all of that
so
stuff. I'm
great.
such a nerd. And I
Yeah.
get there and I'm just like content to be by myself at this event. And then I just heard your voice. I was like, wait, Carla? So that was so fun that we got to
It
share
was
that.
really fun. Yeah, I loved it. Like I said to you later in the night, like you know that I'm a Twin Peaks fan. I'm not like an
Mm,
Uber fan. Like I don't know all
right.
the things and all of the this means this or this could mean that or this is the
Hmm.
actor's name and stuff, but I really do enjoy it.
Yes.
And so it's fun to like be a fan but not but like to still be able to kind of like watch the super fans lose their minds a little
Well,
bit in a great
yeah.
way.
Yeah, I love that. I'm not like that. I'm always all in. I'm wearing a Severance shirt right now. I just get so geeky about everything.
Yes.
So, and I have one more story to tell because this was
Yes.
such a cool LA story. And I did already brief you on this one
Oh
because
yeah,
when
yeah.
I saw you, I was going to save it for the podcast and then I saw you. So I host trivia. Our friends own a bar called the Inkwell Tavern in Burbank. And some of us as performers, we rotate in and we host trivia on Tuesday nights. It's very, very fun. Anyway,
Hmm.
Tool, my husband and I were hosting together because normally it's with our friend Cole Stratton and he was out of town. So Atul and I rarely, I don't think we've ever hosted together before. So we did hosted. It was this great night. And then we got a drink and we were about to wrap up, or we were wrapped up. We were just hanging and somebody came over, Madeline, who writes some of the shows, and she was like, um, there's a birthday party at the Blue Room, which is this awesome LA dive bar like three doors down, and Stevie Wonder's there. We're like, what? Okay. And we had
Yes.
noticed that people had been coming into Inkwell to order food because Blue Room is like cash only, no food.
Yeah.
You know, you've
It's a
been there and
dive. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Spent
I
a lot of my 20s hooking up with weirdos in the blue room.
remember you saying that. I love it so much. Hooking
Uh,
up with weirdos in the Blue Room. Oh my goodness. And it's a very small divey bar, right? So we're like, okay, we just got a drink. We're gonna finish our drink. We're not gonna race over there. So we did go over and we walked in and somebody at the door with this guy was like, "Oh man, you just missed it. Stevie Wonder got up and performed." We're
That
like,
is
ah,
wild.
okay, okay. Well, we're still gonna go in. What the heck, you know? So we got a drink. And we actually, it wasn't so packed. Like we had a seat. Like it wasn't even that packed. And there's a band and they were singing and they're singing his songs. And it was so great because he can't help but be moved by the music. So he was just, doing his Stevie
Being
thing,
Stevie.
moving,
Yeah.
moving to the music. And then he stood up and grabbed the mic and was like, I want to talk to you all. And I was like, oh my God. And it was so cool, Carla, because one, he did sing, which was incredible, and he led
Hmm.
the whole bar in a song. And he also was talking about just like state of the world and politics in terms of like we've just got to love each other, like please. And it was just
Hmm.
so beautiful. And he also sang Ribbon in the Sky, which was amazing.
It's so
And
incredible. It's
yeah,
such a
so
That's what makes LA so magical. Like, say what you
Hmm.
will, but like, you could randomly go out on a Wednesday night and run
Hmm.
into Stevie Wonder at a dive
Right.
bar.
It
I
was
mean, it's the best.
unbelievable. It felt
Yeah.
so surreal. Yeah, it was just wonderful. So we'll drop a picture of Atul and I losing our minds and maybe a little
Sick.
bit of the video because I took a video and it was really good.
Love
So
it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's so great. What a great story.
yeah,
That's like top 10 great LA stories I've ever heard.
yeah.
Really good.
It was
Really good. Maybe
really
top five.
awesome.
I'll give you top five.
Ooh, yes. So what a week. What an LA week.
Gosh, I love that. Oh.
Yeah.
Also, I think the Blue Room, I believe this is true. I'll fact check this later and correct myself
Hmm.
if needed, but it's the bar from Memento.
I
Uh,
think you're right. And I
yeah,
haven't watched it since I've been there. So I might
yeah,
rewatch that
I think
actually.
so.
Yeah.
That Carrie, whatever her name is, works in. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
We love LA,
We
but
love
you know
LA.
what else is a fun city?
Hmm.
Atlanta.
Atlanta is a super fun city. So we are going to dive into Atlanta. I'm so excited about this episode that Carla watched. A couple real quick things before we do that. Two things. Any
Yeah.
Bravo things pop up in your feed since our last?
Yes. I just resent it to myself so I would remember. Well, Dumois, which I follow, we've talked about this
Hmm.
before. I'm starting to
Hmm.
feel weird about following it though. It feels like at first I was like, oh, this is silly and fun. And now I'm like, oh, is this mean? But I can't tell.
That's
It
fair.
seems like it might be a little mean. But anyways, okay, so they have like this thing where it's like, I saw so and so at this thing, and then she'll Dumois, whoever she is, she posts the things.
Right.
And so she posted a picture and it says, just saw pretty much the entire cast of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in the airport in Barbados. They were leaving. And then there's a picture.
I can sort of see that. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. See
Okay.
Mary
So,
for
anyways,
sure.
I was like, all right, click. That's a thing. So, I guess maybe
Yes.
they're going to Barbados this season. I don't know.
Okay, fun. That's a good spoiler. Doesn't really spoil anything yet.
Yeah.
There they are. Awesome. Cool. Okay. So, and like I think we said, we think Vanderpump has started filming, so we got to go to some
Oh,
LA
yeah. We got to go
spots
check
in
it
the
out.
next
Yeah.
month or so. Okay, good. Let's move on. Before Atlanta, now I did also assign you a music video. Do you recall
Hmm.
this? Did you
Yep.
watch it?
I did
Okay,
watch
so
it.
this is Touch in Public by Tom Sandoval,
Hmm.
aka Charles McMansion. And Carla, what are your thoughts on that?
I think, hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay, great. So I was utterly distracted because I know one of the guys in it.
What?
So I had to watch it a couple times, but the guy with the tie around his head
Uh-huh.
is this guy I used to improvise with at Second City called Bobby Kesselman. His name is Bobby Kesselman.
Yes.
And so anyways, I was like loving that. And so I just kept watching it and just
Wow.
being distracted by him. And he's very funny in it, I thought. Um,
Yes.
it's very catchy, the song,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and it's a bop for sure. My first read of it was kind of like, oh, this is awkward. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Why are they, especially at the end when they like single out the one girl and she's like trying
Right.
to move away from them. So I think, as I understand it, it's like touch in public, but like they're kind of having orgasms maybe in public.
Oh, maybe. Now, I'll be honest, I watched this originally and then I didn't get a chance to rewatch it this morning. So, I don't I didn't get that and I bet you're right. I thought it was just like let's make out in public, which is funny because that correlates with
Okay.
your blue room stories. So,
Yes.
it works out.
Totally. So if I had been here listening to this, maybe it's based on me, Robin. Maybe it's
It
based on my
might be.
experiences.
It might be.
Um, so there is a moment where another woman earlier on, I thought she was having an orgasm at the
Oh my
table in the
gosh.
library. Maybe I'm totally.
I'm good. I think you're right. I remember this. I'm going to rewatch this before our next episode because I need to get to the bottom of this.
And then there's the one girl who kind of looks like a Britney Spears, like the way that
Hmm.
she's dressed. It feels like it's a throwback to like, am
Hmm.
I like a schoolgirl kind of
Yeah,
vibe, right?
it might be Ariana. Ariana is in this video.
I bet it is her. I bet it's
Yeah.
her because she's kind of like the female lead of the
Yes.
video.
Yes.
And then so like the whole time she's like, this is weird, this is weird. And then at the end, they like come at
Yes.
her. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then, but then she's like into it and she like
Yes.
plays the guitar and she's like, and then that was my interpretation of it at least. Okay. So that was my first experience. Then I watched it again and I was like, oh, I think this is funny. I think this is funnier than I first thought.
Yeah.
And I think they're being silly and they're not doing it in like maybe like to the top of their intelligence necessarily, but it's cute, it's funny, and it has Lonely Island vibes. I feel like they had
Yes.
reference for or reverence or like a a nod to
Hmm.
the Lonely Island stuff. The thing about
Hmm.
Lonely Island that you know whatever, but like they're kind of nerdy, and so when
Yes.
they try to act sexy, it's funny. But like Tom Sandoval is kind of sexy,
Right. It's not as
so
funny.
yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
that's my whole
Oh, I
thoughts on it.
love these thoughts. Well, I love Lonely Island. Like that is one of my top comedy genres. I love that movie Pop Star, Never Stop,
Yeah.
Never Stopping, all of that.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's why I'm drawn to this kind of thing because it is, and a lot of these things are kind of, they're a little cheeky. They're a little in on the joke, a little over the
Yes.
top.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right though. I would say knowing Tom as I know him is he is pretty sometimes serious, so it may have been serious. I don't know, but it
Yeah.
comes off, and part of why I love Vanderpump, it comes off so ridiculous.
It's
So,
very, yeah, it's very silly. And then Bobby, the guy that I know,
yes.
is a comedian. So, and he's actually I thought he was very funny in it, like
Uh-huh.
with his reactions and stuff. So that also indicated to me like, oh, they're trying to do a comedic take on this,
I love
perhaps.
that. I
Yeah.
want you to get in touch with Bobby, and I want to
Okay.
have Bobby on this and just interview
Tell
him
us
for
all
a
about
couple
it.
minutes. Tell us what
Yeah.
his experience was.
Yeah.
That's
God, I
so
haven't talked to him
funny.
in like 10 years, but I have no shame. I'll reach out. I don't
Let's
care.
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Touch in public. So funny.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's assign you a song for next week and then we will dive
Okay.
into Atlanta.
Okay.
So, we've got the list is getting smaller of the songs that you can pick from. So, we've got Tardy for the Party, Money Can't Buy You Class, On Display, Expensive, Fire, Whatever I Want, Good as Gold, Gone with the Wind, Fabulous, or How Many F's Do I Give?
I want to do fire.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, great. That makes me excited. Okay, and what do you think that song might sound like? It's spelled Fyah.
Oh, yeah. It's probably like some sort of dance mix, like techno-y kind of
Heck yeah.
like yeah, like a dance club song.
Love it. I think you're pretty spot on. We're gonna have fun watching that one. That's a good one. I think
Okay,
it's a bop. Okay, let's move into Atlanta. So I
great.
was so excited to assign you Atlanta after last week's Dallas. I was like, let's find something a little more fun. I think a little more playful because I think the Atlanta ladies are hilarious. I also love that this episode they go to Vegas because you and I have had a couple really fun trips to Vegas. So this
Yeah.
was a fun thing for that. So we assign, and hopefully those of you listening along, either you watched it or you didn't. I'll give you a quick recap so you can play along with us. So this was season 5, episode 17. It's called The Strip is a Trip. And a quick recap of what happens. The ladies pack for Vegas. Kenya's nervous about being around Phaedra and Portia because she and Phaedra have had a big fight. Nene arranges a party bus to take the girls to Vegas, but she flies first class because she's filming something. And this bus takes forever to get there, like way longer than it should. Vegas should be 4 or 5 hours. This was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So they play games on the bus, they do impressions of each other, they do stand up randomly. They get to Vegas and they're going to go to the Crazy Horse. And Portia has issues with this because of her husband Cordell. She doesn't think he's going to like it. They don't like strip clubs. And all the other ladies are very annoyed because it's a girls' trip and they think that Cordell is being too controlling. So eventually they're going to confront her on that. They all go to the Crazy Horse except Portia. And then they also go backstage to Jubilee, the showgirls show. And then they go shopping for diamonds. Cynthia rides a bull
Oh
at a
yeah.
bar. Candy has a sex toy party in the hotel, and Kenya and Phaedra get in a fight. So that is what was happening. Carla, first impressions of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Definitely the funniest one so far.
Hmm.
Like I laughed out loud more at this one than anything we've watched so far.
Hmm.
But it feels like the same kind of, like the same structure, I guess, with the, obviously the specificity of where they're from and who they are is different, but just in
Hmm.
terms of like girls trip, fight, you
Yes.
know, like
Yeah.
even starting with like, I don't like so and so and I don't like so and so,
Hmm.
so it feels like there's maybe a template for these trip episodes, perhaps.
Hmm.
But yeah, scene to scene, I definitely laughed a lot at them. They're all really beautiful and like
Hmm.
it was actually easier for me to tell these women apart than it was the previous Dallas. Like I was very confused by who was who. And this one I felt like they all had were shown as having specific personalities, which was
Yes.
nice. Plus black women are just funnier than white women.
They're so funny. I mean, this is the
They're
funniest cast, I
just
think.
it's so funny. Like they just even when they're fighting, the way that they're going at each other is just has style.
Yeah, no, that's the thing I think that makes this franchise. This is one of the most popular franchises and has been for a
Okay.
really long time. And I think it's partly that because yes, there's fighting, yet it's funny when they do it.
Yeah.
And then it's at least usually not too dark. Now it depends. So it's
Right.
just I wrote down so many quotes on this one, more quotes than I've written on any episode so far, 'cause it just made me laugh so much.
It was
Were there
great.
any specific moments that made you like laugh or gasp or groan?
I mean, I really liked the orgasm farts in the bus.
You were
Made me
gonna love
laugh
that.
a lot. The Phaedra's whole thing about peeing on a rabbit to see if it kills it and
Yep.
that's how you tell if you're pregnant was really funny.
Yep.
Phaedra at the strip club telling the stripper like, "Girl, you have beautiful skin," and she's like giving her dollar bills.
So funny.
I think Phaedra just like they all made me laugh, but Phaedra specifically is very, very funny.
She's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote down that quote. It goes, because they think like maybe like Portia's eating pickles and they're like, "Ooh, are you hiding something? Are you pregnant?" And then she
Pickles
goes,
and ice cream.
"That's
Yeah.
right, pickles and ice cream." And Phaedra's like, "Oh, you know what? We might just have to get a rabbit. The original pregnancy test, you feed the rabbit your urine. If he dies, you're pregnant." Like, what? Which is so absurd. And then, of course, she's and Kenya are fighting. So Kenra's like, I don't think we need to be going out and killing a rabbit. They just like get on this rabbit thing. So silly. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my God, so funny. I will say that I felt, was it Portia that with the husband and the
Yes,
one that
that's
didn't go to the
Portia.
strip club?
Yes.
I felt bad for her. Like I can see
Hmm.
how she could be like self-obsessed and,
Hmm.
I don't want to say dim. That's not the right word. Naive, I guess,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah.
But I felt like they were really picking on her. I also don't have the context of anything that came before, obviously, except
Hmm.
for the recap. But I was like, who cares if she doesn't want to go to the strip club? Like, if I was
Yeah.
there, 100% I'd go to the strip club, but I wouldn't be mad at my friend who doesn't feel comfortable. You know,
Right. Yeah,
like that was a
totally.
bummer.
I
And then
so
the way
there's
that they kind of like, yeah, they kept like pointing her out. And also, she was so nice in response, I thought, to all of their accusations.
Yeah, and this is a new like Portia's a little bit new to the cast. I think in this season, new not maybe not her first season, she's newer. And you would be shocked to see how she is today. She is also a big fan favorite and
Oh, okay.
she's a lot different today than she was. And yeah, she came on and she did kind of have that like naivete and she is very
Hmm.
sweet. And it's funny because I thought that, and then I also thought, oh, they're looking out for her in a way of
Mm,
like having been in controlling relationships. I was just like, oh, look at them, like they're annoyed that she's not being the girl on the girls' trip, yet they're also
Right.
like we sense it like this is a controlling relationship. So I could go both ways on that. I see what you're saying though, for sure.
Just for the context, who is her husband? Is he like a athlete or something? Because at the end they showed him and he seemed really buff.
I yes, I should know that off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure he's an athlete. Yeah.
And are they
We'll
still
look that up.
together?
That's one of my questions for you. Do you think they're still together?
Based on this episode, I do, but
Okay, great. They are not together.
they're not.
They
Okay.
are not. In fact, I had a question. Is Portia still with Cordell? The answer is no. And then she's actually been married twice.
Hmm.
And yeah, no, no longer together.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe the ladies were right.
Yeah. Interesting. So I wrote down some quotes because I was dying. Did you write down any specific quotes?
I did. I wrote down anybody can be a lawyer or a doctor, but the world needs a few dummies.
Funny.
Phaedra, I think, said that,
Yeah,
right? I wrote down two others. I can't read my handwriting, but I'm hoping that you covered them. So I'm
that's
going to
fair.
pass the
Well,
baton.
okay, one of them, which was just said so as if it was nothing, was just like, I don't even know if I can say this correctly. This donkey style your booty thing hasn't really been resolved in a big girl fashion yet. It's like, oh yeah, this donkey style your booty thing, which was Cynthia. And then another Phaedra, this killed me. She goes, the crazy horse is an exotic extravaganza with lovely ladies of all textures, colors. It's bountiful with nude beautity. Which unbelievable. And
Yes.
then she said, as a Christian, I think what better place than a strip club to go and find the lost souls?
I wrote that too.
Um,
Yeah.
So funny. And then Nini, in response to what you were saying of Phaedra just really talking to the stripper and giving her dollars, she was like, I thought she was about to take a bite out of Hello Kitty, which made me laugh. Oh,
Yes, that's really funny. Yeah, Phaedra's just like on it. She's just
yeah.
hilarious. The first thing that made me laugh, Kenya, this was very early on, and I was like,
Hmm.
oh, good. I felt like I was taken care of because I started laughing fairly quickly.
Good.
And out of context, it's not even really that funny, but just the way she said it, she was like, this is before they're going on the trip, and she's complaining about Phaedra
Hmm. Cynthia.
to Cynthia. And she says, my doctor gave me special instructions to keep the drama out of my life. And I was
Yes.
like, that's hilarious. What doctor are we talking about?
That
What
did make me laugh.
is this, a therapist? Do you mean therapist or do you mean like
Yeah.
it was just very funny
Oh, I
to
love
me.
it. I like picture the doctor like, okay, here's your prescription. You need to go to the Rite Aid and pick up this medicine because you need drama out of your life.
Yeah, you
Like,
need to, and she's like, okay, so I'm gonna do this reality show.
oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. I'm glad you felt taken care of because I specifically was like, I need Carla to have fun in this episode. Like,
Yes,
and
yes, I
and
did.
very, I was trying to pick an Atlanta one, and this one has a lot of the all-stars in it. So I was like, okay, we'll go like season 5. And I was like, it's got to be funny. And I started laughing pretty early on
Yeah.
too. So
It was great.
good, good.
I
Anything?
did fall asleep, but that's only
Okay.
'cause I took some edibles before.
Oh,
So then
well,
I finished it the next day.
okay, good. I feel like that's not a commentary on the show, though, Carla. I
No,
think
no. I was
you
very
might.
tired and I was like, I'm gonna take an edible. And then all of a
Great.
sudden I was sleeping. And then actually when I woke up, it was on like the reunion because you know how it just like
Oh,
spins through. And so I got
yes.
to see a couple minutes of that where Nene seemed to be holding court.
They have
Um,
good reunions. Nene is really good on the reunions.
yeah. So
Oh,
anyway.
exciting. It's funny. I almost was like, should I assign you a reunion at some point? You
Interesting.
know, like, so I've been thinking about that, and Atlanta kind of has the best reunions. Anything else stand out about this show? I feel like you kind of covered this. I'm looking for any differences between the franchises. I feel like you covered this.
Yeah, no, I something that's confusing to me, it was why were they driving from LA? I didn't
Oh,
understand that.
I think they had been in LA for some other part of the trip, and I don't know
Oh,
because I
okay.
haven't watched this season in a long time, but they would normally not be. I think it
Right.
just coincided with other things. So,
Got it.
yeah.
Okay.
Favorite, least favorite character?
I mean, Phaedra was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I actually liked all of them. There wasn't
Yeah.
anybody, like at times I was like, oh, that's a little mean, but I don't know. They're just like so conversational and like
Mm-hmm.
relatable. Like, not relatable. I'm not a rich woman from Atlanta. What is
Well,
it?
they're having fun with their girlfriends, kind of. That's
Yes.
relatable. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something about like some of the others, I felt like it was just to kind of be mean to each other and also like not in a very smart way. And this one, it
Mm-hmm.
was like they were like explaining themselves why they were
Yes.
mad at each other and like giving more information as opposed to just cattiness. It was a
Yes.
little catty for still, but
Well,
that's just kind of the brand. But like
mhm.
there was like information as to why,
Yeah, they had
you know.
a actual reason, and they're so quick and quippy on this
Yes,
show. It's
exactly.
so funny. Like stuff goes by so quickly, and I'm like, wait, I have to rewind it sometimes. They're just so funny.
Yeah,
Yay.
agreed.
Okay. Love it. And then this is probably, you've already answered, I think. You're a writer, so I always love to hear who, if you were writing future storylines, what character you would follow.
Gosh. The other thing is like they're all really beautiful in different
Hmm.
ways. So like if it was, I don't know, gosh. Okay, so Nene to me stuck out. She felt like she was either the leader of the group or trying to be the leader of the group.
Yes,
So I
that's
felt
fair.
like she's probably a main character
Hmm.
and she's interesting because she's like seems like she's being very honest in front of them, but then like in her side interviews, I was like, oh, maybe there's some sort of manipulation
Hmm.
happening with the
Yeah.
personalities, like the way that she would confront them. It's like that strong woman who's like, you need to do this. And then on the side is like, she's not going to listen to me. Ah, la,
Yep.
la, la, you know?
Yeah, totally. I mean, Nini is very smart and
Yeah, she seemed very smart. Like she'd be somebody I would think would probably get a spinoff or something, you
yeah.
know?
Well, I will tell you when Atlanta started, she was definitely the breakout star
Okay.
of, yeah. Like
And
she's
what does
like,
she do? Like she went to Good Morning America or something on the next episode? Who is
oh,
she?
this is one of my questions coming up for
Okay.
you. So, because it's okay, we can hop around. Because she was a breakout star, she started to get acting jobs.
Okay.
So, I was going to ask you if have you any thoughts on what TV shows she might have been on? So, I think she was promoting
Oh,
she was
okay.
doing the talk show circuit because she was on TV. And specifically, she was on at that time a very specific show. Do you have any guesses? What show was
And it's
Nene
not a
Leakes on?
reality show.
Not a reality show. She was on scripted television, Nene Leakes.
Grey's Anatomy.
Ooh, I love it. Any other guesses?
Um, oh, maybe one of the procedurals, like one of the Law and Orders or something like that.
Ooh, I love all of those guesses. The main thing she was on at that time, her first big thing, I believe, was called The New Normal. I think this might have been a
Oh,
Ryan Murphy show. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look that
okay.
up. And she also she was on Glee. These were like guest spots. I think she was a series regular on The New Normal. So she's been on Glee, How High to, First Wives Club, the TV show, Dynasty,
Oh,
The Upshaws, and most recently Clean Slate. But The New Normal, I think, is what she was
wow.
filming then. So she started to get acting jobs. So
Very successful.
yeah, yeah. So that was pretty cool. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to move on to some specific questions now that you've
Great.
seen. Now you know the ladies. So we talked about frickin' frack last week, if you
That's
recall.
right.
So they're in this episode. There are two buddies that become known as frickin' frack later. Who do you think that is? Which two ladies from this episode are Frick and Frack?
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm feeling like this is wrong, and I'm only thinking this because it started the episode, but Cynthia and Kenya,
Okay. No.
because they like seemed like best friends.
Best friends, yeah. So frickin' frack,
Um,
thinking also like goofy, silly, like we're frickin'
well,
frack.
yeah, probably Phaedra and Portia.
Yes, you got it.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
You really don't see it in this episode, though, I don't think. It becomes later, and they just get so silly. It's fun.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so this isn't interesting because these ladies, like I said, are all stars. So four of these housewives left the show at some point and then came back, which is
Oh,
not
wow.
that common of a thing. So can you name which four left and returned? It's pretty much, you could almost name anybody.
Yeah, Nene probably left and returned at some point.
Hmm.
She's so successful.
Hmm.
I'm gonna guess Kenya just because she seemed pissed off about being there.
Yep, yep,
I'm gonna name, I mean, Portia?
yep.
Yeah. And Cynthia? No.
You're sort of right. Cynthia left and now she's back as a friend of, which is like a smaller role.
So Phaedra?
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
So this season that's airing right now is the big return of Portia and also Phaedra. So
Oh, a frickin'
pre
frack.
pretty exciting. Yeah, frickin'
Okay.
frack. Okay, now which of these ladies was a member of the female vocal group Escape?
Cynthia. No. Darn, she looks like a pop star.
She sure does.
Um, Escape. Escape. Okay.
Escape.
Gosh, I don't know. Kenya?
No,
No. I don't
that's
know. I don't
okay.
know.
That's okay. These are you won't know. Candy Burris. So
Oh, okay.
Candy,
We
yeah.
didn't get to see much of Candy in this one.
That's true. She's a steady, she's on a lot of seasons. She's steady and she's like very accomplished. So she even I think she has a writing credit for Scrubs, No Scrubs, like all of that. She's done a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She was the one who was looking for the engagement ring, or no? Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So which of these housewives was engaged to someone called the Hot Dog King?
Kenya.
I wish it's not. You get two
Phaedra.
guesses. Okay, no, it's Portia. So
Oh, okay.
Portia married, divorced, and then dated someone called the Hot Dog King.
Good for her.
Or yeah, that might have been in between marriages. Okay. Did you notice any sponsorship in this episode? As I said, like a lot of times the ladies
Uh,
spin off and are selling products. And also, I'm kind of interested from a production value, because we're always like writing and working on things like what brands do these shows get to feature in the shows? Did anything stand
was
out?
it makeup or something? Because she had a makeup artist there?
Oh,
No.
that's no, it's not. A lot of people do that though.
The
I mean,
pickle, the pickle in a bag.
no. Good guesses. So,
Good job,
like,
Carla.
good job, Carla. So one of them, I think, is the main one, which is Candy, because she has the sex toy line,
Oh, of
Bedroom
course. Yes,
Candy.
yes, yes.
Yeah. And then I also was noticing, on these trips, I was like, okay, what places let them film? And I'm guessing these are sponsorships. So we have Planet Hollywood,
Sure.
we have the
Mm-hmm.
Jubilee show, and Crazy Horse, which is wild to me
Yeah.
that they could film inside Crazy Horse because they were
Yeah.
all in there.
I totally thought that in the Planet Hollywood hotel room. I was like, this feels like a nothing scene where they're just taking Nene to her room. And then I was like,
Yes.
oh, it's probably they're just Planet Hollywood's
Yes.
trying to get their name in there.
Yeah, they're walking down the hallway. Welcome. We're so happy to have you here. That kind of a
Yeah,
thing. It's like how these shows get made. So I think it's that
sure.
behind the scenes stuff's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. This one I think you'll get. One of these ladies was the first Real Housewife to ever appear on Broadway.
Whoa. Is it Candy? Because she's a singer?
It is not Candy. She did appear on Broadway, though.
Is it Portia? I don't know.
It's Nene. Nene,
Nene.
not only on TV, she was in Cinderella in 2014, and then she also played Mama Morton in Chicago later.
Oh, that's a
So,
great role for her. Yeah.
yes, can totally picture it, which is cool. I mean, so she was the very first one because now a lot of times you'll see housewives in shows, yet she was
Yes.
like the first. So another, you'll get this one. Another housewife on this franchise has ties to Broadway. Who is it? You just said it.
Candy?
Candy.
Okay.
So how, what's her role?
A producer.
Yes, good. So she was also Mama Morton. She's a
Oh,
producer. And these are like some pretty great credits. So her first one was 2021. It's called Thoughts of a Colored Man. The second one, 2022, she did the piano lesson that had Samuel L.
oh,
Jackson and Danielle
wow.
Brooks from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Then 2024, The Wiz with Wayne Brady.
Whoa.
And right now is Othello with Denzel Washington and Jake Gyllenhaal. She's a producer on it.
Yeah.
So she's
Amazing.
like super accomplished. Yeah.
That's amazing. Good for
Yeah.
her.
I know. Which one of these ladies later became or becomes a mortician?
Ooh, that's fascinating. Which one of these ladies later becomes a mortician? Weird. Portia.
Oh,
No, not at all. Kenya, Cynthia,
mm,
Candy, Nene,
mm-mm.
Phaedra.
Last one, you got it. Phaedra. Phaedra, she's like, I'm gonna become a mortician now. So
I love
she's
her. What a
been,
weirdo. It's so
I
great.
know, she's been a lawyer, a mortician, and I think maybe even a doctor. She is like, she does everything.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so fun. Okay, so we're gonna move off of Atlanta, even though I don't want to,
Yeah,
because
that
I
was a good
have,
one. That was the best one so far.
yes. Okay,
And
good.
Salt Lake City is a close number two. And then the
Good.
others, I'm not sure if I care about.
Well, that's fair. I'm going to give you better episodes soon of New York because New York is all time incredible, and
Okay.
I don't know if I picked one that would draw you in as much, and then also Beverly Hills at some point.
Okay.
So,
Don't blame
and
yourself. It could just be me too. I want to say this real quick. I was talking to my friend, my best friend this morning. We were catching up and she was like, I can't believe you're doing that podcast. She was like, it's so unlike you.
that's
I was
so
like, I
funny.
know, I don't give a shit about any of this. And I was like, but it's fun to hang out with my friend. And I was like, would you ever watch it? And she was like, absolutely not.
Hey, to
I feel like
each
we need
their
to have
own.
her on. She's like not a performer at all, but she's
Oh,
just
yes.
like so anti-reality TV. And
I mean,
so
yeah, we should
it'd be
have
really
some of
funny.
the antis on and
Yeah.
see, get that
Counterpoint.
perspective. Counterpoint. Yes. Oh, funny. That's hilarious.
She was
Yeah.
really ribbing me about it. She was like, how are you doing it?
I never even thought about this because like I'm like so excited and I'm like, of course, put this out there. And you probably have people, yeah, people in your life who are like, Carla, what? This is not your brand. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Like, and by brand, I mean personality.
Right,
Like,
right. Yeah. Including my husband who comes in and is like, oh boy.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for doing this with me because
Of
I'm having
course, it's
fun.
fun. I'm not complaining at
No,
all.
I
I wouldn't
know.
do it if it wasn't fun, but it's just, I also want to honor the fact that it's like really not in my wheelhouse.
Oh, it's obvious it's not.
Oh, we get it.
We get it, Carlo. We get it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now I have to figure out what to assign you next. And to be honest, I'm a little nervous because I don't know how to top this. This was
Yeah,
such a
it's a good
good
one.
one. So we either need to like
Um,
veer to something totally different or stay in the Housewives world. There are still some classics you have not seen. So I'm going to ask you just a couple random questions. Some are silly, fun.
Great.
You may not know why I'm asking them. What do you think? What is Coto de Casa? What might that be?
Uh, mm, I don't know. A cousin from out of town.
Hey, my cousin Kodo is coming over. That's the best guess. It's not a cousin. Now it's a person. Now I'm forever now. Hey, have you met Kodo de Casa?
Yeah.
Uh,
It sounds like a
no,
name of like
it
that weird cousin
does.
that nobody ever wants to see, but comes into town once a year and you're like,
Ugh,
oh, I guess we'll go to lunch with Coda. I guess we'll take Coda
ugh.
to brunch.
Kodo is so annoying. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, it's not a person. It's a neighborhood. It's the original Orange County was filmed
Oh.
beyond the gates in Coto de Caza. So
Oh.
that's what it is. That was the best answer though I've ever heard. Okay. Have you ever heard of the TV show called The Valley?
Yes.
Okay, what do you think it's about?
Wait, no. Happy Valley. I've heard of Happy Valley.
Different. Oh, you were so
I think I've seen
excited.
Happy Valley. I think I've seen Happy Valley. It's
Okay,
a different show. Yeah.
totally different. What was Happy Valley? I don't even remember that. I've heard of it.
It's like cops and like I think it's British. It's been a while.
Okay. Oh man. I was so
What if
excited for
it's
you.
not that at all? People be like, that's not what that was
Ugh.
at all. But okay. So what's the
Oh,
Valley?
The Valley. Well, what do you think it could be about? It's in the Bravo
I'm gonna
universe.
guess it's in the Valley.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably like I'm gonna go for it and say it's probably stereotypes of women who live in the Valley
Ooh,
and
okay.
men and women, and maybe non-binary people too.
Look at you. You talked yourself into the more right answer. So
Okay,
it
great.
is not just women, it's men, women, families. They have kids actually. So it's a little bit
Oh,
different than some of the housewives you see. They have kids. It's not so featured. It is a show in the Valley with Bravo celebrities, new ones. And it's actually two people from Vanderpump Rules that you saw
oh,
in the OG days are on it. Any guesses to who? I don't know if
I
you
don't remember
remember.
any of their
Oh
names.
my
The guy,
goodness.
the muscle guy who like
Yes?
Jax? Is it Jax?
Yeah, Jack's the muscle guy. Yes. Yeah, he is in it. It's
Him?
his,
And then the one who was like, I'm gonna be a singer, and she like sang for her birthday.
oh, Sheena, hilarious. She does do little guest spots on it, but it's not her. It's Kristen Doty, the one who cheated on Tom Sandoval with Jax. So
Okay.
she's on it. So it's
Oh, from the episode that I saw.
from the episode you
Oh, they
saw.
brought
Yeah.
her back to do some
Yeah, they
more.
did. And she's
Okay.
kind of crushing it now. So The Valley just started last season. It just started season two. So it's in the zeitgeist right now. It's amazing, I think.
Okay.
So maybe we'll watch
Does it take
one of
place in
those.
like Encino or something? Like where in the valley?
The couples are in little different areas of the valley, and then one
Okay.
of them lives by the Chateau Marmont, not in the valley. Everyone
Oh,
else is in the
funny.
valley. Yeah.
Easy to get in the valley from there though. You just hop on the canyon.
There you go. Oh man, I love that you were like Happy Valley. Okay, have you ever heard of the actress Heather Dubrow?
No.
Okay, how many IMDb credits do you think she has as an actress?
82.
Oh, I love it. That's pretty funny. She's on Orange County, and there's a whole thing about her IMDb credits because she's like, I'm an actress. She has 21 credits, including
Oh,
a
good for her.
series regular on something called Stark Raving Mad in
Mm,
1999, 2000. Used to be called Heather Page Kent. So once you watch Orange County, you'll know who she is. Okay.
great.
East Coast or West Coast?
Right now, West
Just
Coast.
for you,
Today,
West Coast.
waking
Today?
up, West Coast.
Love it. Okay. Pool party or tea party?
Pool party.
Great. Love it. Polo match or family christening?
Ooh, family christening.
Ooh, love it. Okay. Now I'm going to read you some quotes and you're going to tell me who you'd rather hang with based on the quote that is said.
Okay.
Ready? Summer should be fun. That's one quote. I'm a lawyer and a storyteller. That's quote two. Ah. She goes and defiles my cake. That's number
Oh,
three. And the last one I'm trying to decide because I have two quotes from the same show. I'll go with this one. She certainly didn't look like she just pushed a watermelon out of her chuckarella. So
well,
we've got,
obviously I have to go with that one.
okay, great. I think I know
I'm
where I'm going to put
hoping
you.
Chuckarella is a vagina, but I don't know. It could be
I'm
something else.
I'm
Let's find
pretty
out.
I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, you made my job so much easier based on all of the answers you just gave. So I know what franchise I'm going to put you in. I just have to pick the episode now.
Is it Orange
So
County?
It's not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not. So it's not West Coast yet. The family christening made me think of this one
Okay, great.
and that quote. So,
Can you
okay.
tell me which franchise?
I can tell you now. Yeah, it's New Jersey.
Okay, great.
We're going to Jersey. You already
Because
met
we
two of
haven't
the
done it yet.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll have to pick a good one for that.
All
So
right. Cool. I'm
I'll
in.
try to make a funny one.
It would be great. Yeah. Don't put too much. Like whenever I have a bad re or a weird reaction or a disinterested reaction, it's never because of the thing that you've chosen. It's only
Oh,
because of the
totally.
content. So I don't want you to
Yeah.
ever feel like I picked the wrong one. Like I'm not putting that pressure on you at all. It's an
Thank
impossible
you.
task what you're doing.
Thank you. It is. It is an
It's
impossible
hard.
task.
Yeah.
I do feel pressure, not just for you in terms of like the Bravo fans. I'm like, they're probably like, why did she pick that one? Yet
Oh,
there's just I'm trying to pick some out of the box ones for you. So,
yeah. No, I like
okay.
that. I appreciate it. And I'm not going to like all of them. I'm probably not going to
No,
like a lot of them, and that's
no.
okay.
That's okay. That's okay. We got to find where your little pocket can be.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's all I have. Do you have anything else you want to
That's
chat
it.
about before our next one?
Nope.
Okay. All right. All right, everyone. This was so much fun. This has been the Bravo Bubble. I am Robin Lynn Norris.
And I'm Carla Kakowski.
You can follow us on all platforms at the Bravo Bubble. We're talking Instagram. We're talking YouTube. We're talking, you want to see our faces? Watch YouTube. Substack.
YouTube.
You're going to get all the show notes, all those things. Follow us at the Bravo
Yes.
Bubble.
And
How
if you have a
else?
question you want to ask us, you can email us at theBravoBubble@gmail.com.
Yes, and play along with these quizzes. We put them in the show notes every week. We also want to give a big shout out to our music composer, Krista Duggan.
And our photographer, Ian Zandy.
That's it. So we will see you next week and we will burst your Bravo bubble. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Robin here with your next Bravo Bubble assignment. We've got to continue along with the GOATs, the greatest of all times. We've got to go to Jersey. Carla hasn't seen it yet, so we are going to start with season 3, episode 1, In the Name of the Father. It's an extended episode, so allow yourself plenty of time. You will not regret this one. We'll see you soon. Have fun watching.